Hello, everybody. Hey. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. My voice sounds terrible because my kid passed along her little sickies. Hey, everybody. Hey, people in the chat. Let's see. We got my sister. Hey, sister. Oh. Passed along her little sickies. Oh. Don't mind that. I have a second device going on over here that I apparently did not turn sound off on, so that's fun in the background. Let's try this again. Hey, everybody! Oh my gosh. Hey, guys. Hey. All right, let me see. Let me get myself live. Make sure you guys are on live chat and not top chat. Whoa, everybody's coming in saying, hey, guys. For everyone who came in from Mindy's live, thank you guys so much. When I am done, I will be followed up by Mickey Sunshine. If you guys are watching in the playlist in current live time, it'll just autoplay you right into the next one. If you are watching the replay on this, let me know down below, Team Replay, and it'll also do the same thing. Thank you. If you guys do not know, DaddaMonster is my real life husband. Say hi, husband.
Hi, husband.
If you guys see Kirsten in the room, that is my real life sister. If you like jewelry, go check out her channel. I linked her down below in the chat. Yay! Hey guys! Oh my gosh! Hey! There's so many of you in here. Let's see, who do we got? Hey Knox. Hey husband. Hey Muttnut. That's fun. That's a fun name to say. We got Jen. We got Melly. We got Desiree. We got Lori. We got Jerry. We got Blunts and Gems. We've got so many people in here. Hi, Catherine. Little Bright, Little Moody. Love the name. Hey, Robin. Hey, Chaotic. Oh, Satya's in here. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Ashley. You guys are so many people. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Deborah, if I'm missing anyone, I apologize. I'm trying to keep up. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Tima. Hey, Lois. Hey, Kay. Hey, Mystical. Hey, Lori. Hey, everybody. Hey, Crashly. So tonight, if you guys are new here, hi. Welcome. My name is Lindsay, and I do mainly diamond painting and a couple other crafting-related content things on my channel. Hey, Billy. Hey, Craftably. Hey, Mickey Sunshine. And Mickey is on after me, as I mentioned. So make sure you guys watch this to the end and get autoplayed right into her video. I am working on Alley Cat from Diamond Art Club. This is my Drills and Chills entry. The way this is going to work tonight is I'm going to sit here and hang out with you guys. I'm going to do my very best to make it the full hour without collapsing. If you guys can't hear it in my voice, my tiny human, if you are new here, I have a 4, almost 5-year-old who recently started school. She got the back to school sickies, passed them along to mommy. So we've got, nothing is sponsored, a little Gatorade, a big box of tissues. We've also got mentholated rub. We've got some hauls. We've got some water. So I'm going to try to keep the sniffles and whatnot down to as little as possible. But, you know, we all know how that goes when you're sick. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Cal. Oh, let me, there you go. Cal has been moderated, smurfed, blue wrench, whatever you guys call it. What do you guys call it? So, not every channel that is participating in this craft-a-thon is raising money for charity, but there are some of us, and I am raising money for Coping with Laryngomalacia. If the word Laryngomalacia is too difficult for you to read, say, or think about, just say Coping with LM. The long and the short of it, I have, as I mentioned, an almost 5-year-old who was born with an airway disorder called Laryngomalacia. If you have been around in any capacity, whether you are here on my Instagram, my YouTube, or in my Facebook group, which, by the way, everything is always linked down below, I am a huge advocate, an airway advocate, and I have any opportunity that I can, my husband and I raise money to donate to Coping with LM because of all of the love and support they've shown my family, as well as thousands of other families worldwide. For anybody who makes a donation tonight, you will see a couple people dropping the link there. I do have it pinned in the pinned comment. If you donate any dollar amount and you take a screenshot of it and send it to either my Instagram or my email, again, both are linked down below, I will match every donation with $5. So if we have a lot of people donating. Even if it's all low dollar amounts, we know that we'll be able to change tons of kids' lives. And I am super, super excited about that. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Margaret. Muttnut, I've been watching from the first live and only missed 10 minutes of a live when I took a 10-minute cat nap. You are amazing. I would have loved to have been able to be in everybody's live since they started last night. But unfortunately, being sick, I've kind of had to sleep as much as possible. I'm going to take a sip of water here. Oh, wow. And my husband just mentioned that he will also match it. So, hey. So we are just here to raise money as much as we can. If you cannot donate, I totally understand. If you are ever trying to support a friend, a family member, a business owner, anything like that, and you just can't financially do it, all it takes is a little bit of sharing. Sharing is caring, unless it's germs, and then keep them to yourself. I tried to get my kid to understand that, and she didn't. She passed it to me. You know, but if you guys see my husband or myself posting, or anybody posting, let's say it for coping, for example, and you can't donate, or it's not financially in the budget, or maybe you just would rather save your money for something else, if you share that post, you never know who it'll reach. I had somebody reach out to me after seeing my post on Instagram, finding out that their grandchild had an airway disorder, and sent them all the information to coping, and they were able to get in touch with people who could offer them support and advice. And so that is my whole mission. If you guys hear beeping, I do use a timer here. We are already 7 minutes in. There's 73 people in the chat. Oh my gosh. Hey, everybody. If I've missed you, I apologize. I hope that you guys are all doing well. My daughter started preschool. And literally the first week she came home, and my kid goes to school 3 days a week. Excuse me. Yes, $10 will be donated in addition to whatever any of you guys donate. So thank you so much. If you guys do not know, my husband is the DaddaMonster. I'll get back to my story here in a minute. He is a small business owner. If you guys hear me talking, especially about some of these smaller US-based diamond painting companies like your Craftably, your Lola Rose, Enablers Outpost, Diamond Painting Shop, and you hear me talking about the cost of shipping, it's because I understand it from the wife of a small business owner. If you guys haven't checked him out, all of his info is listed down in my description box. He makes custom Funko Pops, and that is how he supports our family. And we spend the time in our crafting area together. So I am here, and he is just right over there. I would say I can have him wave, but you guys won't see it. So it's really, really fantastic that we get to sit and craft together. My husband is an artist. I am not. All these people who have been doing like actual art things amaze me. My sister is a real life artist. My mother is a real life artist. I am crafty. I cannot paint. I cannot draw. I cannot sculpt. I cannot do any of that kind of stuff. What do we got here? Hey, Robin. I donated. I don't know how to send you a copy. Okay.
I said just screenshot it and shoot it to
yeah.
Instagram or my email.
That's true.
Just in case you don't have this.
Absolutely. And Margaret is one of those people who's in every single video that I post always. So we will definitely get that going. And I am so excited. And after the live tonight, depending on how much energy I have, I will put a tally up, and I will do a post to my Instagram, and I will, if I remember, I'll share it to my community tab. Thank you, Berta. Thank you guys so much. And obviously it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to do the best that I can, and I will let everybody know how much we raised in total. For every $25 that are donated to Coping with LM, an entire care package is sent to a family in need. So if you have, excuse me. Oh, thanks, Carla. I hope that you stick around. Make sure that if you guys are new here that you like, you subscribe, you hit that bell, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. I lovingly call myself the conductor of the Hot Mess Express. And I've had people say to me, "You're not a hot mess." And then they hang out around for a little bit. They're like, yeah, you definitely are. And I say it lovingly. But if my head wasn't connected to me, you guys, I legit would lose it. So, but I can't thank you guys enough for coming and hanging out. But for every $25 that gets raised, a care package is sent. And if you have ever had a sick relative who required hospitalizations or surgeries or anything like that, you know how isolating it can be. And it started out that Stephanie, who created Coping because her daughter, and I quote, was diagnosed with the most severe case of Laryngomalacia that Children's Hospital of Philadelphia had ever seen, ever. And it started out by doing these hand knit, hand crocheted blankets. If anybody is in here that is a fiber artist and would like to donate, there are more ways to donate than just donating financially. You can also, there are restrictions and regulations. It's all listed on that same link to donate. But if you wanted to knit a blanket or a hat, things like that, all of the information is listed there as well. And they do that so that every single family feels like they are being wrapped with love and to know that they're not alone. And when my daughter was diagnosed with LM, my husband and I just felt incredibly alone. And I always tell this story, and I look back at it now, and I think it's funny now, but in the moment I was annoyed and a little pissed and heartbroken. And my husband and I both tried to join this support group on Facebook for Coping with LM. They have a caregivers group. If anybody in your world is dealing with this and you guys would like more information, definitely shoot me an email or send me a message, and I will connect you to the right groups, links, things like that. But thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't ever have any of my pens listed down below, but if I'm not mistaken, these are both from Deli's pens. Got a couple of Kevin's creations out here on my table. If one of my mods wants to link Kevin's Etsy shop, Kevin is a real life friend of mine. And oddly enough, you guys can kind of blame me for him turning diamond painting pens. So you're welcome. And if you haven't gotten a Kevin's pen, what are you waiting for? But anyway, my husband joined the caregivers group. And I was sitting like in queue, just waiting. And I was like, why is he in the group and they're not accepting me? And so after, I think it was a couple weeks, he finally emailed them and was like, hey, my wife's been pending. Do you guys think you could approve it? And they get such a kick out of that story now because every single year, obviously I'm doing a charity event right now. And any opportunity I can to raise money, I will. But every year, my husband and I put together a small shop fundraiser, mainly through handmade and small shop goods for like children. However, my husband has also put himself in that category and donates for every sale that is made in his Etsy and eBay. Thank you guys so much. Again, I do apologize for the coughing and the sniffles. If anybody has any like tried and true legit ways to boost your immunity, I know that they say like it takes exposure, but my husband, I love him dearly. I'm gonna throw him under the bus right now. I don't know what it is. This man has an immune system made of steel. Literally, if my kid gets sick, it takes me out like a day or two later. And I would say that 1 out of maybe every 10 times she gets sick, he gets sick. Although the last time he got sick, him and I both got sick at the same time. Our kiddo got a stomach bug and passed that along to us. And there's nothing worse than having both parents sick at the same time. Whew. Hey, Grace. How is it in the future? Thank you so much, Danielle. I haven't made elderberry syrup in a while. I do elderberry gummies. I bought this probiotic shot off of like Walmart's website. So, okay. I don't know about where you guys live, but the Walmart near us, like since the beginning of the pandemic, it has not been 24 hours. And I think that that's a nationwide thing where they're not going back to 24 hours. If you have one, that's 24 hours. I'm jealous. So I literally woke my husband up at like 2:15. Hey, Bonnie. And that link is scarves. What link do we have here? Trying to multitask here with the. Oh, you know what? So that is not the right link, correct? Babe, if you can get the link for Kevin. It's Kevin Creation Store.
I don't know how. Let me put it out.
Yeah. Thank you though for the heads up there, Cheryl. So anyway, last night at literally like 2:15 in the morning, I woke my husband up and I said, "Do you need anything from Walmart?" And he's just like, "I don't think so." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna place an order. Let me know." And he's like, "Okay." Now, mind you, I woke my husband up to ask him if he needed anything. So I placed a Walmart delivery order. I have Walmart Plus. And I placed an order for Mucinex, Sudafed, those probiotic shots, Gatorade, cough drops. Nope, I had the cough drops. Like the Vicks Vapor Rub or whatever off-brand I got, a couple things. I literally got $50 worth of stuff. I just never weirdly getting tattoos up your immune system for a while if you get a big one or several small ones, just get them regularly. Well, I'm too much of a chicken to get them that often. Actually, hey baby cakes, the last tattoo I got, it has to be the one on our honeymoon, right?
Yeah.
So just, I don't know if you guys can see with the lighting here. I have a set of pairs. My husband also has a set of pairs.
This last one I got too, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, thank you, Margaret. I can't send it to your Instagram or email. Duh. No, I just needed a screenshot of it to show it. Anyone who's hopping in and has no idea what I'm talking about, for anyone who donates to Coping with LM through the links tonight, my husband and I will each match it up to $10. So my husband and I, whatever you donate, we'll add $10 to it. So, yeah, I also have a real little one right here that people think are fake. My husband and I, when we got married, our wedding theme was tattoos. Everything was bright and bold and very like Jerry the Sailor kind of tattoos. And we ended up giving out temporary tattoos as wedding favors. And it said the perfect pair, and it was a set of pairs. And so that's actually the pairs that we got. Ours were just black and white. And so each one of us got it for real on our honeymoon. And we were smart enough to do it at the end of our honeymoon because nobody wants to get a tattoo and then go into the ocean. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there who don't care. But so anyway, I placed this order and the earliest it could get to us was 8:00. My daughter, on the other hand, she has a bottle of Tylenol and a bottle of Motrin and cough and cold day and night bottles in her room. Sorry, it's just reading my husband's comments there. And I do apologize. I know I'm going to say it a few times, but I'm trying not to cough in your ears. But, it's not like my days in radio where there's a dump button. Which, fun fact, if you didn't know, I have a broadcasting background. I don't really talk about that ever. on my channel, and every once in a while I'll say something about like when I worked in radio, and people are like, "Wait, you worked in radio?" Desiree said, "I love tattoos. I have a whole sleeve and a half sleeve. That's awesome." My husband has a ton of tattoos, but he has none of the filler to make it like a full sleeve. Um, but like when I tell you my husband and I are totally different creatures, when we got our tattoos on our honeymoon, I look over and my husband is sleeping. Not like, but full on sleeping in the chair. And I'm over here like tears streaming down my face. My husband got the same one. His looks more like, you do not. You have the cutest face. Our daughter has your face. None of them would know that because other than my sister, nobody here knows my daughter. But you guys are killing me. What was I just saying? Oh, no. Yeah, he was sleeping. And I'm like, I'm crying. If you guys didn't know, I'm totally like, I legit have a phobia about needles. Not just like, oh, I don't like needles. Like, I legit am phobic. I will have like a full on panic attack. Um, thank you guys. I'm so excited to see all these people are making donations. If you need any assistance in doing that, you can click the pinned comment. Excuse me. And my lovely moderators have been dropping the link to donate directly. If you would like more information on what Laryngomalacia is, you could check out that same website, just take the donate off, or you could just click to the main page from there. And there will be articles and blog posts and different things like that. If you guys have any questions about airway disorders in general while we are here tonight, I can answer to the best of my ability. But I am really, truly honored. My husband and I they gave us a place as new parents when people in our real life didn't know what to do. And if you've ever had a kid with any kind of medical complexities, you know how isolating it can be, no matter what they are. And then to just have doctors tell you, well, it's no big deal. There's nothing wrong. A little story. My daughter is a peanut. Like, she's almost 5. She'll be 5 in 2 months. Holy crap. And she is a whopping 30, maybe 31 pounds. And like 40, 41 inches. So she is this little skinny mini, which is really funny because she's super obsessed with, as she says it, big bellies. I fell asleep during my face tattoo. Well, Knox, you and Brian can go get tattooed together, and I will be crying because that's not. How do you do that? How do you people fall asleep? No. No, he's giving legit answers. I just. Excuse me. Oh, thank you, Cal. You guys. So anyway, we had taken our daughter, who was super, super peanut at birth. She was full term, and she was 5 pounds, 15 ounces. And I literally said to the doctor, I took one look and I said, "Where's the rest of her?" We had been told 2 weeks earlier, and I just keep hitting the camera. Good job, Lindsay. That we were measuring at about 7.5 pounds. So I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have a pretty average sized baby. And then she was not even 6 pounds. I was like, what? So she was still very much a newborn. We took her to the pediatrician's office because she was only drinking 12 ounces of breast milk in a day. And she was like 2 months old, I think, at this point. And the doctor like took one look at her and said, well, she's just a bored eater. And I was like, a bored eater? How bored can she be? My husband even made that comment. He's like, she literally spent 9 months in a womb just floating around and swimming. How bored can she be right now? And thank you, Dawn. I'm hoping that I will be able to kick this soon, but I'm not super hopeful. And after he told us that she was just bored, I was like, I put my foot down and I said, if you're not going to help me, then I need a referral to someone who will. And we got our referral to feeding therapy, and we spent nearly 2 years in feeding therapy. And come to find out, the reason my daughter was so bored was because she had uncontrolled reflux, which was burning her airway, a narrowed airway from the Laryngomalacia, and she was simply just burning calories, just trying to breathe. So she was trying to coordinate the suck, swallow, and the breathing at the same time, and it was just too much for her little body, and she just didn't put in the effort. And it's not uncommon with airway kids to deal with feeding difficulties and poor weight gain because of that. And so that was my first lesson in advocating for my kid, and realizing that even though doctors have years and years of professional knowledge of something, nobody in this world is going to know your kid better than you will. Nobody. And I've been very, very blessed and lucky to have such an amazing partner. And Brian, he is by my side for every appointment, even when he was working out of the house. We scheduled all of the appointments the best we could and made sure that he could be there for as many as humanly possible. You ever just misgauge how many drills you need? And so
My volume went out. You're good.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah, my volume completely went out for some reason, but you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, Carla, when I tell you like that I hate needles, it's not just like a, oh my gosh, I don't like needles. This is the berry flavor. If anybody has ever drank the 0 sugar Gatorade, it tastes like melted Jello. It's literally full on panic attacks, shutting down. I had to have my friend come over to watch my daughter so my husband could come with me to get blood work done, like this year. Yeah. So I've been very, very lucky that I have an insanely supportive husband in that sense, and that he is one of those people. He's a researcher. My mom nearly passes out when I'm the one getting the shot. Yeah, so that's me, and my husband will hold our daughter for any shots that she needs to get. And she is like this tough little cookie, and she just like, she doesn't give a shit at all. She'll be like, "Are you done yet?" And they were like, "Oh, okay." So, but yeah. Oh, good, the dog's barking. If anyone has been following the saga that is my neighbor, I'm sorry. I feel like I have to raise this camera because I keep hitting it. Let's see. Hopefully you guys won't see too much. I don't know if that helps. Oh, and it just popped back down. So whatever. I hope that works. Hey guys. Hey, I'm all up in your face. Sorry, that was probably really creepy. What's new? So if you guys are new here, super Cliff's Notes version to the neighbor saga. I have a neighbor who is a terrible human being and decided, excuse me, I think it was last year at this point, to let herself into our house while intoxicated. The super short version of it is there was a local kid who had basically been starved to death in his house, and she, I guess, decided she hadn't seen my kid in a while, and so she just decided to come into our house, which I feel like, if you were really that concerned, you would have called the police for a well-being check, but I'm not the one breaking into my neighbor's house. And police were called. I didn't file a police incident against her, but basically the cops were like, just stay away from her. Don't come in, don't go near their property, like just don't. And her ex-husband lives in her house. For people who are like super into, thank you so much, Dawn. I appreciate that. I also had no epidural blunts and gems, and it was not because I was scared of needles. It was because sorry for people who were in labor for a really, really, really long time. I got to the hospital and 29 minutes later, my kid was born. So I didn't have time for it. And I was so proud of myself for doing it completely unmedicated. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, we need to take you back for some stitches and we need to give you a spinal tap. I was like, damn it. So there's that. But anyway, so the neighbor. Thank you so much, Kay. Make sure you guys are sending those screenshots. I don't need to know how much you donated. You can block that out. That's totally fine. But just so my husband and I can add $10 for every donation that has been made tonight. But anyway, so her ex-husband lives in her house now, and they have a grown daughter who's like 21 or 22 that has a dog that whenever that dog is at their house, the ex-husband and my neighbor's dogs go apeshit. And I am talking barking for hours on end. Like the one day it was almost 4 hours the dog was barking, and I don't understand what's going on. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. It is all day. It is during dinner. It is during any meal. It is all the time. And these last couple days, like, oh my God, this dog is driving me insane. And I am definitely one of those people that, like, when I'm already frustrated, if like the dog is barking, I'm like, I can't keep my cool. And I am not anti-dog for anyone who, you know, I am severely allergic to dogs, so I do not have my own, but I grew up in a house with dogs. So it's not like I have unrealistic expectations of dogs or animals in general, but it's not normal for your dog to bark for that many hours in a day. I was in labor forever with all 5 of my kids. Oh, no, thank you. Yes, exactly, Cal. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, what is going on with that dog that it's barking that much? Excuse me. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have 71 people in chat. Make sure you guys give some thumbs up here. Make sure I am on live chat. You guys, I am so excited. I am so excited. There's so many of us. But yeah, so the dog. So if you guys ever hear me, if you ever want to hear like the drama of what's going on, I always post that kind of stuff to my stories on Instagram. But I cannot stand my neighbor. She's not a pleasant human being to begin with. She's one of those people that will throw anybody and everybody under the bus if it means she can raise herself up. And the one day my husband was out front, we live in a townhouse. Obviously, we are connected to her townhouse. And my husband was out front, and he was in the dark, but he wasn't like hiding. And she was just sitting there on her phone going on and on about how she doesn't know how we can afford anything in our house because nobody in this house works. And I was like, well, that's how you know that she doesn't know my husband, because, well, yeah, my husband is around every single day. It's because he has an at-home business. And she is one of those people that gets like real salty that she had to work through the entire pandemic because she works in the food service industry. And you know, must suck to be her to know that my husband was able to did not work at all, you guys, to completely start a business working from home, and that she still has to go to work. Okay, let's see if that works. No, it's not any of her business. And honestly, like, it's one of those things that I know everybody in the moment would do something differently. You know, like, that's why there's a whole show called What Would You Do? Excuse me. But if you were so concerned for my child, then you should have called the police and had them come and check on her without you breaking into my home. And when the cops showed up, just in case anyone isn't familiar with this story, she told them that it was totally justified because our front door was unlocked, which, by the way, our front door is never unlocked. So the fact that she came in, like, how many times have you tried to get into my house before then? You know, like I can't imagine that was the only time she's ever tried. Um, but yeah, she ever since that happened, she's like avoided us like the plague. Like I said, she's a server, and absolutely nothing against people in the food service industry. My father and my sister both worked in restaurants for many, many years, and I have a lot of respect for that. What I don't have is respect for somebody to just break into my house and think that, you know, she's entitled to it. And the best part was, I said, if you're so damn concerned about my daughter, how old is she? I don't know. What's her name? I don't know. Okay, so tell me what you do know about my kid. And she's like, well, I never see her. And I'm like, okay, when do you expect to see her? Just out of curiosity, because, you know, she works, like I said, in a restaurant. She was usually out of the house before we started our day. It's crazy. When she was making those comments, I didn't hear. My husband heard them, and I was like, what's it to her? If I can pay my rent, which I don't have rent, I own my home, but, you know, even if I couldn't pay it, how does that affect you? Like, for real. That's okay, Margaret. We'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. Don't worry. Sorry, I'm trying to sip and not be too loud. And why would I let my daughter get to know you? Do you have something with? I mean, it's unreal. Like she just, even when the police were here, she still was like, "Well, I didn't do anything wrong," and I'm like, "I think that you're completely mistaken as to what is acceptable and what isn't." But she's like, "Well, I don't know. I feel like 3:30 would be an appropriate time for me to see your daughter," which I was like, "That's very specific," and I was like, "Also, that's in the middle of my kid's nap." Um, but it is what it is. We just avoid each other. Um, and I'm just kind of waiting for the day that she moves out. So, you know, it it does bother me in like one sense that like my house is literally connected to yours, and we just excuse me, um we don't even have a cordial relationship. You know, to the point that like if DoorDash delivers my food to the wrong house, I'm always like, crap. Like, um, but it is what it is. Not everybody's meant to be a friend for life. Not everybody's meant to be a good neighbor. And she's one of those people that just wants to tear people down to bring herself up, and I can't really get down with that, you know? I had a neighbor that was abusing her grandkids, and I didn't know there was kids there. I felt so bad. Oh, Nessa. Well, the best part about it is when she said she hadn't seen my kid in like weeks or months or however long she made the time frame. I said to my husband, I was like, we literally just saw her like 2 days earlier and waved to her as we were driving by. Like, I can't blame if she's oblivious. There's something I can do about that. You know what I mean? One too many. So I gotta say, I love the color blocking on this, but I don't love the fact that these two symbols look exactly the same on my canvas. Driving me crazy. I just can't think. So here are the two symbols. I don't know if you guys can see them. So it's the three dots and then the hazard, and they're like the same color background. I'm sure you guys can't tell from this angle. They're slightly different in color on the canvas, but congrats on rising above. Well, you know, in all honesty, I said to my husband, like when this all was going down, I was like, no, he didn't. I had said to him, like, you know, let me go talk to him, or let me go talk to her. And she's like, Brian was like, don't, just let it go, blah, blah, blah. And then, so she at the time had a very trashy boyfriend, for lack of a better term. And he came over. Oh no, sorry. If my audio is weird, you guys, it'll come back. I promise. I can't just pop out and pop back in though. Thank you, Kay. All right, did that help at all? Damn it. It will come back, I promise. Laryngomalacia is an airway disorder. It basically means floppy larynx. My daughter was born with laryngomalacia. And for her, I'm good. Okay. She had a narrowed airway that caused what? Damn it. Okay. She was born with this narrowed airway, which caused her feeding difficulties, breathing difficulties, issues with reflux, failure to thrive, slow to gain weight, and coping with laryngomalacia is a nonprofit, a 503c nonprofit based out of New Jersey that offers support and care packages to people all over the world who have family members with airway malasias. You can have laryngomalacia, bronchomalacia, pharyngomalacia. It's just different parts of the airway, everything from the larynx, which is the top of your airway, down into your lungs and your pharynx. And that is who we are raising money for. If anybody is just popping in, if you make a donation to Coping with LM, our mods are doing a great job of linking the donate button, as well as pinned in my top comment. My husband and I will each match it with $5. So whatever you donate, we'll add $10 donation to it. So if that is something that you are interested in doing, please make sure to send your screenshot to my Instagram or to my email. That is, both of those are listed down in the description below. But yeah. So I was telling a story about the neighbor, and now I don't even remember where I was at, but yeah, she's just one of those people that, like, we have an HOA, and my husband and I were never invited to the meetings, which I'm sure she had something to do with, but the first, I don't know how many years we were here, she was very adamant on, nobody pays the fees, and if we don't pay it, blah, 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 blah. And she convinced me to not pay the HOA fees, and then I got a letter in the mail being like, oh, you owe us X amount of money and legal action will be taken. Of course, I paid it. But then I saw the notes for the one meeting, and it said only one house hadn't paid their HOA fees. And I was like, son of a biscuit. Thanks. Thanks for making me look bad. And I didn't know any better because, she'd been here for years. And I was like, oh, well, she seems so trustworthy. Little did I know. Little did I know, folks. If you guys are new to the channel, and this is your first time hanging out, hi. I'm glad you guys are here. I don't have any sort of schedule on my channel. What I try to maintain is a WIP Chat every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. It's not always on Monday because sometimes I can't.
Life happens.
Thank you so much, Kay. Absolutely. For anyone who is curious, $25 will support an entire care package. Excuse me. They also have something called Project Pajamas, where they have airway or like oxygen and feeding tube friendly pajamas for kids. Most people who have laryngomalacia specifically are small children. And as they grow, the cartilage in their larynx tends to get thicker. And so it's not something that like you ever like, oh, you outgrew congenital disorder, but like it's no longer affecting your life. There are other forms of malacia, specifically tracheobronchomalacia, which is of the trachea and the bronchi, that can affect people well into adulthood. But because most people who have laryngomalacia are children, these pajamas are kid-sized pajamas, and they're absolutely fantastic. If you've ever had anyone in your life who has a feeding tube or who required oxygen for sleeping or even during the day, usually you have to cut up pajamas to make them work so that there is a spot that the tubes can come out of. And these will, $25 will fully sponsor a pair of those to an Airway family as well. So big things are happening here. If you guys follow Coping on Instagram, excuse me, they will share the care packages that go out and say, this is sponsored by Facebook fundraiser, or this one is sponsored by X, Y, and Z, insert name here. So it's really great. And you can see exactly where your dollars are going to. And like I said earlier, if you are not financially able, or this isn't necessarily a cause that is near and dear to your heart, and again, I'm here speaking absolutely no judgment, because we all have been asked to donate money to charities before, and it might not be one that is as glamorous to you or well known to you, and you might want to spend your dollars elsewhere, and that's okay. That's totally okay. But if you share any kind of post, anything where you see my husband and I posting about a fundraiser or just any Airway facts in general, things like that, you have no idea how much that can mean to people in the Airway community. Dude, I gotta say, Kel is on fire tonight. Look at her keeping up with all those links. Like, I have a little pimple on her head. Not Kel's head. Alley Cat's head. Thank you so much. Dawn said that she looks forward to hearing my WIP chats every Monday. Jen said, as a child with health issues, I have mad respect for parents like you and my mom who would fight to the ends of the earth for your kids. 100%. And I'm totally going to start crying now. So, my husband and I had our child later in life. And, I'm gonna pause that timer for a second here. And me, as a first-time parent, I assumed, like many others do, that your kid's doctor knows best. And if they tell you there's nothing wrong, then there's nothing wrong. And my sister, who lives completely on the other side of the country, had come in to visit. My daughter was a baby, like an infant. And she kept saying to me, Lindsay, this is not normal. Her breathing shouldn't sound like that. And I kept saying, every doctor says she's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. And the one day we laid her down on the changing table to change her diaper, and I noticed that the area directly below her ribs was having, it was sucking in. Those are called retractions. My daughter, from birth to about 3.5, had a tracheal tug, which is another kind of retraction. At the base of the neck, like where it meets, like where your collarbone is. And I saw that and I said, we have to take her to the hospital now. And we did. And they listened to us. And they said, we think your daughter has Laryngomalacia. And I got a piece of paperwork and I just collapsed into my husband's arms and I was crying. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what she has.
To write it down because we're both like,
yeah, when someone says Laryngomalacia, you go, how do you spell that? Which now I've had doctors ask us, how do you spell that? And I'm always like, Laryngomalacia, Laryngomalacia. But it's true, they gave us this pamphlet and it was like a weird sigh of relief, because this explained everything that we had been dealing with as parents. And, of course, my sister probably was thinking, like, you should have listened to me sooner. And I should have listened to my sister sooner, which is probably like the motto of life. My sister and I are 10 years and 1 day apart. Sorry to put you on the spot there. So
you're turning 25 this year.
Yeah, okay. Which is funny. She said to me, she goes, you have a big birthday coming up this year. And I'm like, you also have a big birthday coming up this year. But nobody's going to care about my birthday because we're going to Disney. But, yeah, finding out that that's what they believed my daughter to have, and it explained my daughter turning blue, my daughter barely gaining weight, my daughter struggling to breathe. My daughter sounded like a pug until she didn't. You know, like I remember there's always a post that goes up in our caregivers page, like when did symptoms improve? And honestly, like I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you when the stridor went away, when the noises went away, when feeding got better, when the weight gain was considered okay. Um, yes, absolutely, Carla. There is, um, yeah, for anyone who, excuse me, wants to know they have an Amazon wish list, those items are either items that are helpful to packaging and sending care packages or items that go in the care packages. For those who are curious what the inside of a care package looks like, besides having a handmade hat and blanket, there are also things that are important in a hospital stay, like chapstick. Um, for families in the US, small Visa gift cards are also put in there because if you have a child in the hospital doesn't provide food and beverage for the caregivers, only for the child undergoing surgery. There will be things like small toiletry items, so you don't have to leave your child to go home and take a shower. Books, especially for the younger ones, little toys. If you've ever had to take a small child, not even a kid with like medical conditions, like to a doctor's office, you know that every doctor takes forever. And then you sit there and you have to tell them the whole time, like, no, you can't touch this. No, don't touch that. So things like that are really great. These are just things to make the parents and the caregivers feel like they are less alone in this process. Hey, Robert. Um, what do we see? My cousin has a feeding tube and a trach, partially paralyzed due to a stroke at 13. We cut up t-shirts on the back to accommodate. Absolutely. And honestly, I have my daughter and I are both active in the small shop world of repping, handmade clothing and things like that. And when you find a shop who is willing to make those accommodations on handmade clothing pieces, it blows your mind. Because for you and I, if it's not something that's our day to day, we're not thinking about, you know, how difficult that must be, how difficult it must be to find clothing for a child with a physical, like a feeding tube or a trach, or oxygen. And there's a lot of kids in our world who are completely tube fed because they'll aspirate on thin liquids. And that means that it'll go into their lungs instead of, down into their bellies. My daughter aspirated on thin liquids for quite some time and required thickened feeds. And I know, had we not gotten her into the feeding therapist when we did, we 100% would have ended up being tube fed, which is totally fine. I know people who have said it has saved their kids' lives. So thank you so much, Kel. You are dropping all the links tonight. Yeah, big sisters do know best. Tell that to our little brothers. My sister and I have two younger brothers who neither one of them would ever listen to me about anything important ever. Guys, we are coming to the end here. I cannot believe that we only have 7 minutes left. If you guys are watching in present time, or on the replay, and you're watching through the actual playlist, it will auto send you to the next video. Mickey Sunshine is on after me. There are still plenty of creators to go. As I mentioned earlier, not everybody is doing one for charity, but those who are doing it, we each got a chance to pick a charity that was important to us for whatever reason, or just, oh, let me raise money for this well-known charity. For me, as somebody who obviously I lived it, but also as somebody who, this is an organization that unless you're in this world or you have a friend like my husband and I who talk about it all the time, you've probably never heard of. And while I know that every penny counts for any kind of charity, when you know firsthand how much they do with every penny they get, that's why we fight. And thank you. I'm glad, you guys. Yes. Let's see. I was gonna say, I know if one of my mods wants to link the playlist. I know Kel has it. I don't know if Brian has it. I know sometimes people don't want to hear the struggles of what other people go through. But that's what makes us all human, and that's what makes us who we are. I know, here I go crying again. I know that if our daughter hadn't had these struggles, and I don't wish them upon her or anyone else, let's just preface that I would not be the kind of mother that I am if she hadn't gone through this. Because it made me realize pretty early on that the only way anything is going to happen is if I fight for my kid and I don't take no for an answer. And I do the research and I let the doctors know, okay, well, this is what we're going to do next then. Because at the end of the day, it's crazy. My husband and I live near a major hospital, like a humongous hospital. It's a teaching hospital, so there are thousands and thousands of people that work there, which don't get me started on that. But where was I going with that? I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, well. Lost my train of thought there. I had the same doctor that told me that our daughter was bored, looked me dead in the eyes and also told me, well, I'm a doctor. I know more than you. And I looked him in the eyes and I said, you might be, but you don't know more about my child than I do. Yes, that is correct, Carla. They are based out in New Jersey, so it'll go right to their headquarters. Thank you so, so much, you guys. Again, if you cannot donate or you don't want to donate or whatever, if you are willing to share the links or the infographics or share the Amazon wish list with people or purchase something off the Amazon wish list, that makes a huge, huge difference as well. Again, if you have made a donation tonight and you were able to screenshot that, please send that to my Instagram or my email, and my husband and I will match it up to $10. So for every donation that is made, we will donate 10 additional dollars. So I am really, really excited to see how well we can do with this. If you guys are looking to ever support Laryngomalacia and airway disorders in general, and you'd like more information, Coping with LM has a lot of really great infographics and blog posts and things like that. But every July is World Airway Disorder Day. So my husband and I go all out. And we always raise money and advocate and share information and things like that. And, this wasn't necessarily the life that I expected to have, but it's shaped who I am as both a mother and a wife. And I'm really, really grateful that my kid has two parents in her corner that will fight the way that we both do. Carla said, my daughter is an asthmatic. She's gotten better as an adult. It is tough. I have asthma, so I totally understand that. Desiree, Lindsay, you're an amazing person. I'm so glad I caught this live. Oh, thank you guys so much. If you guys are new here and you liked what you heard, or you just are, interested to see what else I have, please make sure that you guys like and subscribe and hit that bell. Hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. Let's all be friends forever. I am always just full of rambles, and my WIP chats, honestly, are just me sharing with you guys what I did all week long. So if that is what you guys enjoy, you're in the right place. I'm going to get out of here. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope to see you guys all in Mickey Sunshine's Live. If you guys are watching the replay, please let me know down below. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Bye.